most embarrassing lie you've been too deep in to take back? I invaded a children's summer camp because I had a crush on the instructor. When I was 17, my mom handed me the car keys and said, "Go pick up your brother from summer camp. He's been there all week." I groaned because it was a 2-hour drive and I had plans to game with friends, but whatever. When I pulled into the camp's parking lot, I could hear the chaos before I even opened my door. Kids were screaming, counselors were shouting, and in the middle of it all, this girl with a messy ponytail and paint-splattered shorts was trying to break up what looked like the world's most intense capture-the-flag dispute. She couldn't have been older than 20 and was desperately trying to separate two groups of kids who were arguing about whether someone was tagged or not. One kid was crying, another was throwing pine cones, and my 10-year-old brother was right in the middle, red-faced and yelling about fairness. I just wanted to grab him and leave, but when I walked over, she looked at me with these mesmerizing green eyes and said, "Thank God you're here. You must be the emergency helper Chris from the main office." Before I could correct her, she grabbed my arm. "I'm Aurora, and I really need you to take the blue team to the arts and crafts station while I sort this out." She looked so overwhelmed and, honestly, so beautiful with the dirt smudged on her cute perky cheek that I just nodded. My brother saw me and started to yell, "That's my..." But I quickly put my finger to his lips. He got this mischievous grin and stayed quiet. He's always been smart like that. Aurora squeezed my shoulder gratefully, and I blushed so hard I nearly rolled over. "You're a lifesaver. I've been alone with 40 kids since another helper quit yesterday. Can you stay through evening activities? Please?" I don't think I could have said no to her even if I wanted to. I quickly texted my mom that there was a situation at camp and we would be late. The blue team kids were already tugging at my shirt, demanding to know what we were making in arts and crafts. I had no idea, so I just said surprise project and hoped for the best. What was supposed to be a quick favor turned into 3 days I'll never forget. That first afternoon, I fumbled through teaching kids to make pine cone animals, while Aurora dealt with the flag dispute. She kept glancing over and smiling whenever a kid showed her what Mr. Chris had helped them make. By dinner, she started calling me Chris from headquarters when introducing me to the other counselors, and I was too deep in to correct her. Each morning I'd tell myself I'd come clean and take my brother home, but then Aurora would find me with morning coffee, looking relieved I was still there, and I'd end up staying another day. We worked together from sunrise to sunset, and she taught me camp songs I butchered terribly, making her laugh until she snorted. During quiet hours while the kids napped, we'd sit by the lake and she'd tell me about her marine biology major and her dream of studying dolphins in Hawaii. "You're different from the other temps they send," she said on the second night, leaning against my shoulder as we watched the stars. "You actually care about the kids." I felt guilty, but also didn't want the moment to end. When a little girl scraped her knee during relay races, Aurora watched me carefully clean and bandage it while making up a story about brave warriors and battle scars. "You're really good with them," she said softly, and when I looked up, she was closer than before. Then came the campfire on day 3, and we both knew it would soon be time to leave. After lights out, Aurora and I cleaned up together, and suddenly she looked directly into my eyes and said, "I'm really going to miss you when camp ends." We were standing by the dying fire, and she had a marshmallow in her hair that I reached out to remove. My hand lingered, and she leaned into it. We were so close I could count her freckles in the firelight. I leaned into her, and that's when my brother's annoying voice cut through the darkness. "Daniel James Walsh," Mom says. "If you don't bring me home tomorrow morning, she's coming here herself." Aurora stepped back in confusion. "Daniel? But you said you were Chris from..." The realization dawned on her face. "You're not from headquarters. You're just some kid's brother." I nodded, cheeks burning. "I came to pick him up 3 days ago. You looked so stressed, and then you assumed I was help, and you were so pretty that I couldn't leave you alone. I'm sorry." Aurora stared at me for the longest 10 seconds of my life. Then she burst out laughing and shoved me into the lake. When I surfaced, sputtering, she was standing at the edge with her arms crossed but smiling. "Your number," I called out, treading water. "Can I at least get your number?" She pretended to think about it, then pulled out a Sharpie and wrote it on my brother's forehead. We still text every day, and she starts every conversation with, "Hey, Chris from headquarters."